What's up, Norberg Nation? How's it going? So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down my first win of the season, which was the SKUSA Winter Series Round 3 at the AMR Karting Complex. If you guys haven't already watched that video, make sure to go watch it down in the link below. But today I'm going to be going through a lot of the things that you probably won't pick up on in the video. I'm going to be breaking down a lot of the decisions I made and why I made certain moves when I did them. So make sure you stick around to catch out the review of my first win of the season. But before we get into that, we need to talk about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Drive Dental. One thing my dad always told me growing up is that successful people have clean teeth. Ever since that moment, I've always focused on trying to have a successful smile. But with my busy racing career, it's always hard to keep a clean smile in between dentist visits. One of the last things I'm thinking about while I'm racing is when I'm going to schedule my next dentist visit. This is why I use XDoc, Express Dental Office Clean by Drive Dental. This is a product created by a dentist for people with a busy schedule who haven't had time to visit a dentist but still want a hygienist clean feeling. After using this product, I can see and feel a difference with my teeth. It was super easy to use, and I feel confident knowing that I have a great smile while standing at the top of the podium. So for anyone with a busy schedule like mine, make sure to check out drivedental.com. They will take care of any of your teeth cleaning needs in between trips to a dentist. So once again, thank you to Drive Dental for sponsoring this video. So starting second on the outside, we head into turn one, and I kind of get a good run off the line. I was able to get pushed just at the right time off the start, and I was able to get a good start. So, I cleared the inside driver going into the first corner and had a good lead. Didn't have to even set up for any of the corners, but as I look back into that third, fourth corner there, I see the drivers closed up, so I have to start defending a little bit, which just brings the field back together. The racing had been really aggressive early, and I know this spot was a spot that I've been slow in, so I wanted to defend there. But it had been really aggressive earlier in the day, and so I knew that these drivers were going to take any opportunity. Left the door open a little bit there and kind of threw in a late block, and then the driver, obviously at 362, takes advantage of that. And right there, I thought I could go to the inside, but I didn't want to get that intensity started too early. I didn't want to start, racing everybody super hard and just, ruining the racing and getting everybody kind of upset and on edge. And so I wanted to just try and manage and take it easy on the start. I'm going to pass back there, a nice easy pass. I know the drivers behind are a little bit quicker, and so I want to just be able to get out front. I always like to manage the race from the lead. So I get back into the first position there. You can see the drivers are right on my bumper through this section. This is a section I always really struggle in. And so heading down into this hairpin, going to defend again. I don't go all the way down, but I defend just a little bit. And now heading into this hairpin here, got a little bit of an advantage. I didn't have to block this time, and so I knew that at this point I'm okay. The problem was is every time I went through the corner, I'd get a little bit of a slide right there. I missed my apex a little bit. I'm just overdriving. Right now I'm just trying too hard to stay out front, and I'm picking that up on myself and picking up that, I'm just trying too hard. You can see there, I kind of missed the apex again, went a little bit wide, and that's just not helping, obviously. That's just, hurting my race and keeping the drivers behind me right on my bumper. I felt pretty strong throughout the day, so I knew I had some speed that if I got out front, I could possibly win this race and just check out. But again, the driver's right on my bumper again. But I want to try and not defend this corner for once, and right there immediately I get past, and another driver tries to go with him at 313, goes right there, and wipe off my hands. I had a little bit of grease on my hands, but yeah, I wanted to open up that corner because I wanted to take that risk, because ideally if I could not block that corner for at least one lap when everybody's up on my bumper, I could manage that gap. And I knew that every time that I blocked there, that's just ruining my exit. Those drivers are still able to stay with me. This risk I chose didn't pay off, obviously, because I fell back to third. I lost 2 positions because of it. But you saw there when I did get past, I immediately gave up the second position as well. I just didn't want to fight at all early in this race. I didn't want to create any, too intense racing. 313 is looking pretty quick though, so I think he's going to try and make a move here. I want to try and be with him so that when he does make a move, I can go with him too. See right there, he goes to the inside, just a bit too far back at this point. But all that racing that they're doing and what we're doing is bringing that driver right behind me and the Burrell up to us. That's Marin Kramers. He's a world champion. He's not going to, sit by and just sit in 4th place. So at this point, I see I got a driver on my bumper. I got to get at least into the 2nd position. I don't like this immediate pressure that I have right behind me. So I'm looking at the 362, and I'm going to try and make a move in the next lap or so. But you know, Kremer's right behind me. He's up on my bumper now, and this is definitely a much tighter spot than I want to be in. I don't really want to be in this position. I want to be moving forward. Right now, my momentum's going backwards, and I want to stop that. You see right there, the driver goes to the inside again. Again, this is just backing me up into the other drivers. This is not the best spot to be in. Now I'm stuck behind the 313. He opens up a little bit. I thought about going, and I didn't. I look back right here, and you see I have a little bit of a gap, so I can open up for this corner and try and do like an over-under on the exit. I didn't want to take any risk there. You know, if the driver was right on my bumper, I wasn't going to try it. Here, I take an aggressive pass right there in that left-hander. I knew that if I could get it there, he's not going to immediately be able to, you know, cut me back. Get a good run on the 362 as well. Going to go by him as well and just try and take the lead. Luckily, the 313 followed me through as well, so that kind of spaced the drivers up behind me. But I wanted to do that pass down in that third to last corner, obviously because I got a good run. But I knew that if I got that pass done, I wouldn't have the pressure of him for the next 2 corners at least. I would have a few corners where I could get in there, get my right racing line down, and I wouldn't have that immediate pressure. But right now, you see the driver goes right back to the inside. That was a late lunge into the corner, and I knew that was pretty late. I was able to over-under him there. I heard it coming. Something about that corner is when you go into that corner, you can hear the drivers when they're going to go past you. So I heard him coming a little bit, swung out really wide, let him slide back by, got the over-under. It was a risk to go to the outside, but I knew that if I could cross him and get off the corner correctly, I would have a good gap. And you see right there, I have a good gap. I didn't have to defend super hard in those last couple of corners. And now I have a good gap going on here. And so something that I did realize, though, and I spoke about it earlier, was I was over driving when I got out front initially. And when I got passed by a few of those drivers, it started to click with me where I needed to change my line and where I needed to back the corners up. Especially this section right here, I was over driving it early. I noticed where they had changed their line. They were keeping it a little bit tighter on the exit and accelerating more through the second corner of that section. And that was something that I noticed and picked up on and tried to change my line to help out there. As well, you know, when I went into this corner, this tight right-hander there, I was always sliding through there. I was always getting the back end to step out. And so I knew that I really need to stop that. I need to get the cart underneath me. I started backing up that corner. And luckily, they started racing behind me. But at this point, I don't really see who's directly behind me. They're a little too far back that when I make a quick look, all I see is a go-kart that's getting further and further away. So at this point, I think I'm pulling away on just speed, not on actual, you know, just because they're racing. I just think I'm pulling away because I'm faster. But as you can see behind me, Kremer's in the Burrell, he's closing up. He's actually closed a little bit of that gap. He's gotten into second position. And right now, he's actually closing quite a bit right there. Again, I hear that the drivers have closed in that corner. That's something that I can recognize, and I can hear that happening. So I'm going, okay. I look back, I see a red cart now. So I'm going, okay, this is a different driver. He's looking to be a little quicker because I looked back and I had a bigger gap than I thought I did. And so he's a little bit quicker, and so I really need to fix those mistakes if I want to manage this. So right there, again, I look back and I see that he's a lot closer than all the other drivers were. So I need to minimize mistakes at this point, and just put my cart in the right spot. Got a little bit of a run down the straightaway, did Kremer's, and so trying to manage here. Again, I'm going into this section right here. This is my weakest section on the racetrack. I don't know if it's gearing. I mean, a lot of it was just the way I was driving around this section. I didn't really have the feel for it that well. And this is a part that everybody would close up for. I'm going to drive a little bit narrower into that hairpin just because I want to take that off the table. I knew I had a great acceleration off that corner there, and so I knew if I could just defend that corner a little bit, I've got it for the next corner. They're not going to be able to pass me back going into the next corner. And again, I'm looking back out of all of those hairpins and kind of managing where I am and seeing where the distance is. Again, going down the straightaway, I looked and saw that I pulled a little bit on the driver behind me. And so that was a good sign to me that if I hit my marks and I don't make any mistakes, I can pull away from these guys. It's going to be hard. I'll just inch away. But if I can just keep doing what I'm doing and managing that distance and just not make many mistakes, I should be good. And again, like I said, it was just because I was over driving. So, you know, under driving is a lot easier sometimes. You know, when you're over driving, you're trying hard and you're making mistakes. And there, I didn't have to defend for that corner. I was able to open up, and that allowed me to get an even bigger run off of that corner. And so that helps a lot there. And it kind of motivated me that I understood that, okay, back the corners up, take the corners back a little bit, drive underneath your limit. You know, right now you're trying too hard, so that's a lot easier for me to do, is to drive under my limit than over my limit. And so I backed it up to right at my limit. And you see here, I'm starting to pull away a little bit, inching away a little bit, and that's a good sign. A little bit of a slide off the corner there, but at this point, I'm just trying to keep my head down, keep making, making good laps, hitting my marks, and not overdrive. That was something that I recognized early, that overdriving is bad, so stop overdriving and then relax. Only thing that is difficult about, recognize that you're overdriving early is that as the session goes on, and the tires get more heat in them, you want to be driving harder. You want to be pushing the kart into the corner. You want to be attacking a little bit more every single lap. But when you realize that you're overdriving early, you kind of back your driving up, and then you've got to start pushing again. You got to, as those sessions going on, you've got to start pushing the go-kart even further and even further. And so it was hard for me to understand, earlier this was not the right thing, but as the session's going on, I'm starting to increase my speed a little bit more into the corners, push the kart a little bit more into the corners, and that helped quite a bit. But yeah, it's a difficult game, when you overdrive early and then you back your kart up and then you got to try and push again. It's a difficult spot to be in because, yeah, you don't know what's too much until you do it and you make a mistake. So I managed my lead for a little bit. The driver in second got switched around, and this is 362 again. And as I head into turn number 4, I think someone in the back of the pack must have gone off the racetrack, and you can see there I just washed super wide, went into the corner, had no grip. And before that, I felt super confident. I think actually the lap before that, I was like, wow, I'm doing really good. If I just don't make mistakes, this is an easy win. And then obviously some dirt had to come on the racetrack and just messed the whole race up for me. And so now the driver in second, the 362, is back on my bumper again. And that just really, changed the whole dynamic of the race, because instead of just, relaxing, hitting my laps, now I'm in a part where if I make a mistake, I'm immediately going to be pressured by another driver. And so I can't afford to make mistakes. And so right here, the driver, has closed that gap. And I knew that it's going to take a lap or so to get that dirt off the tires, just because we run that softer compound tire. It takes a long time to get the lag off the tire. Any dirt or marbles you get on it, it takes a while. So I knew that my kart this lap would be, take about halfway through the lap for it to come back to where it was, where I felt like I would, had some speed. You see there, defending that corner again, because I knew that if I leave it open, that driver in particular has taken that shot when he wanted to, and a bunch of the other drivers have all seen that opening there, so I wanted to shut that down early. I look back, a few times there, I see that I'm pulling a little bit of a gap, and so trying to calm back down. It was super difficult at that moment to recognize that I was panicking and freaking out, and then to back it all up again. And basically this gap kind of holds for the rest of the race, and now we're at 2 to go right now, and it kind of closes, opens, and so I know I'm in a decent spot. As long as I cover that one section where they're faster, I think I can hold on to it. Again, I can hear the drivers closing in the braking zone there. The way the track's laid out, you can hear them closing, and that obviously is intimidating going into the corner. Again, defending that corner, I'm not going to leave that one corner open. He's shown his cards there. He's shown that this is a spot he's willing to pass in. Down into here, he's willing to pass as well. I make sure to go in extra deep on the brakes there so that he cannot, even if it's a late pass, I still have somewhat of a defense against it. But with 1 to go, I feel pretty confident. I know where the spots are that he's going to try and pass, especially I get a good run out of that last corner every single lap. And so I know that down the straightaways, I'm okay. So that cuts out a good majority of the racetrack already, that I'm going to be fine here. Going in, to the second corner there, a little bit of a slide, okay. As we head into the fourth corner, this is where he closes up. Here I'm again, so I'm going, okay, he's on my bumper, I'm gonna have to defend this corner. They like to pass it in here late, they like to throw it in late. I'm gonna go in there, defend really tight this time. I go much tighter than I was the previous laps. Come out of the corner, look back, he's close. He's gonna be able to throw it in here. I'm gonna just play it safe, play a nice block. Again, he's in it for a championship, so he's not gonna do anything too risky. Look back, give it a nice, lean forward. And at this point, with these 2 corners left, there's nothing he can do. At this moment, all the nerves go away, everything ends, get the win. It ended up after the race, they called me for a jump start. I was able to protest it, got the win anyways. And so, yeah, good way to start the season, first race of the year. To get that first win was super, super, super nice. But again, the racing this whole week was super, super fun. All the drivers were racing super aggressive, super clean, and I was racing with a bunch of high caliber drivers, so it was super cool to race against these guys and to just experience just like aggressive racing again, clean racing. And yeah, this was just a great win, super fulfilling. Nice to be back in the kart and to be back up front. But thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. If this video helped you guys out, please leave a comment down below. I'm super happy helping you guys out with your carded careers. You guys have messaged me so much recently, letting me know all the results that you guys have had, and it's been super, super inspiring. So thank you guys so much for doing that and supporting this channel. It means the world to me. Once again, make sure to follow me on my Facebook, Instagram, and my TikTok. I post a bunch of racing content on there, so make sure to check out those channels to keep up with my racing career. Once again, thank you to Drive Dental for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.